All right, take two. What is up? What is up, real community? This is probably for the best. The last take kind of started off really crappy. So I am here in Philadelphia at the Schuylkill River Trail. I'm riding my bike. I am holding the GoPro in my hand. I do want to get a gimbal and other stuff probably eventually, but for now, I got this shit to work with. So, but yeah, today's video, I'm gonna try not to hold this so close to my face. Today's video is kind of gonna be about, you know, the fundamentals of everything that we kind of stand behind here in the real community. And we call it, you know, we call it the process. I mean, you can probably call it whatever you want, but ultimately it is just a process, and it's also a set of values, and those are all very important things to have when it comes to just, you know, dictating what kind of lifestyle you want to have in general. So whether that is, you know, relating to finances, you know, dating, business, whatever, you know, you have to have a set of values that you live by and operate within. And so, like, basically, without getting too, like, you know, wrapped up in the whole thing, it's just like the brass tacks is like, you gotta go to the gym, you gotta make money, you have to be conversational in whatever form that may take as far as content. You know, there's really not, it's really not super complicated. You know, it's actually very simple. So just because, though, it is simple does not mean that it is easy. You know, that's one of my favorite quotes from, I think, the movie The Prestige. And Christian Bale is, like, you know, talking about how his, whoa, excuse me, miss, excuse me, you look fantastic.
Oh,
you are gorgeous. Wait, come here, I have a question.
Yes.
Are you single?
No, I have a boyfriend.
You have a boyfriend?
Yes.
He must be pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. I don't know if I'm gonna leave that in there or not, but I had to do it. Fucking smoking hot Latina. So, but yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily easy, but it's super simple. You know, it's like, if you want to do something, then you just do it. You know, theory is obviously something that, you know, helps, because, you know, if you're just going at something without any sort of game plan, then you're obviously bound to fail. So, you know, it's the same thing, like, so in the gym, you're gonna have, you know, a plan. You're gonna have a routine. At least you should. If you don't, then you're probably not gonna get very far. You know, you're not gonna be very happy with your results. You're not gonna be very happy with your progress. And so the same thing is, you know, true with every other aspect of life. You know, it has to be a framework that you follow. You know, you have to have a game plan, and then you have to be consistent about it. You know, you have to do it every day. If you take a break here and there, that's natural, but, you know, you have to get back in there, and you got to do it every day. So, like, you know, I know that a lot of times, for this community, probably a lot of you are going to be focusing on the dating aspect of things, and I'm going to continually try to focus on other areas of life that are not specific to dating, in the hopes that you guys can see how really, like, living your truth in all of the areas of your life that aren't dating are going to help you live your truth in your dating life too. Because really, like, the foundation of your dating life is you know, and who you are and who you can attract. So and who you are attracted to is really important as well, which a lot of us maybe don't necessarily always consider early on in our journey. So that being said, you know, I actually don't have that much battery life left, and that's probably good because I didn't want this video to be very long. I really just wanted it to be, again, you know, these preliminary videos that I'm going to be making. I just want to focus on, you know, broad concepts and the process in general and what we practice here in the Real community. So yeah, gym, meditation, eat well, you know, follow your passions, be yourself, you know, be authentic. So it's like, dude, look at me, I'm wearing a pink shirt right now. It's a Gorillaz shirt, so it's pretty sick. I have a beard and long hair, and I have glasses. So like, dude, I just hit on this freaking insanely hot Latina chick. I think she was with her mom. She had this massive, like, Rottweiler, and she had a man, but she was super cool and very receptive, smiling the whole time, very, like, I mean, I think you can hear the audio. She's like, oh, thank you. So it's like, dude, it doesn't matter what you look like. It matters, you know, how you live and how you act, how you carry yourself, you know? So, yeah, I think I'm here now at the art museum. I think this is the perfect time to kind of end this one right now. That was pretty much the point of this little deposit, was just to say, hey, this is like the overreaching, you know, sort of creed that the Real community lives by. And you know, we're obviously going to be delving into more topics with more specificity as time goes on, but you know, I kind of want to approach this whole coaching thing from a really, like, integral theory kind of approach, which is, anyone that's familiar with it, you know, it deals with the concept of hold-ons, and in any practice, you know, it's made up of different hold-ons, and hold-ons are basically levels of proficiency, so to speak, with different topics that are, you know, parts of the whole, you know, that make up the sum, whatever. And so it's like, you know, when you are starting off in the beginning, everything's very rudimentary and big picture, but then, you know, the more and more you learn about something, then, you know, you kind of burrow down into these specific different aspects of it. And I'll get more into that. You know, I can draw a lot of parallels with, like, I've done music production for a lot of years, and I might, you know, have some anecdotal things about that in the future. But, like, basically, guys, you know, it's all integral and it's holistic. So, you know, you're going to be learning from the broad, you know, big picture, and then as you burrow into little details and aspects of you know, what we teach here, then, you know, you're gonna have, you know, you're gonna go down the different rabbit holes, basically, you know. And then as you do that, it's gonna make up this bigger picture that from the outset, you know, seemed like such a far cry from reality for you. But in reality, like, yeah, it takes time, but that is the journey, is you have to go through all those little rabbit holes and have those experiences and experience, you know, and learn about all the different levels of whatever it is that you're delving into. So yeah, I think that's all for now. Welcome to the Real community for all of those of you that are brand new, and very excited for this journey for all of you. And I think that you know, it's gonna be a good time. Just don't overcomplicate things. Remember, it is simple, it's just not easy. And persist. All right, real ones, I'm out. Later.